I told you I'm here to get it, cause baby I'm in my prime. So if you want it, come with it, nobody dimming my shine. Been a long time, homie, since I first got down. Still on top of my game, forever play to the crowd. When I'm in front of a mic and I'm in the spotlight, the gridiron, man, we taking y'all on a flight. Always coming for the hardcore, this is what I work for. Got a feeling for some more, they yelling encore. Verbally, I'm bringing heat to the streets. The flames spitter my squad, nothing but winners, and you'll never see a quitter. Cause adversity is part of the plan. Just as sure as you go, always bob your head to the jam. So turn your volume up, you can see me up on your screen. Kicking knowledge like you need it, y'all some football fiends. Bringing heat at 100, we the realest around. Welcome to the gridiron, baby, it's going down now. Like the music buzzing in amps. When I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands. Cause I'm an all get known until the break of the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. It's the battle hymn, homie, gonna bang in your ear. And when they hear it, they gon' know the Kings is here. All get known until the break of the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. I'm here to get mine, never gonna dwell on the past. Always moving forward, I won't take my foot off the gas. And I'm ready for the battle and whatever may come. I fight from up in the saddle, go and beat that war drum. If you want some, get some. Wicked about to get dumb. Got the crowd getting loud, everybody heads sprung. Hitting hard and coming stronger like a buck from a gauge. Like Micah, I'm a lion busting out of my cage. Cause y'all ain't holding me now, I'll break your bury you down. Go and check your books, cause there ain't no play to be found. They can counter what I'm bringing, you ain't figure me out. Hitting suckers from their gut to their chest and their mouth. And now we steady climbing up to the top. You trying to get on our level, they watch your ass get dropped. Yo, it's your boy on the track, the OG double G. I'm rolling with the heavy hitter, yeah, that's Jerzey Tha King. Let's get it.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome into the show. Look, we got a lot to talk about. We had a great week in the UFL last week. We got another great week coming up, possibly the game of the year. We got a lot of news in the IFL. Huge week. All 16 teams are playing. We're getting into that. Plus, there were more NFL moves and news. So, more of that, as well as fan mail. And more. That's all I can say. So come jump in the trenches with me and let's talk about it. This is the gridiron. Let's roll. Welcome into the show. Welcome to the gridiron. Happy Saturday to everyone. Happy football Saturday to everyone. It's going down today. We got a lot to talk about. Excuse me. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning, your afternoon so far. And we're live on Fuel Sports Network, powered by Gateway City Sports. If you haven't already, please go ahead and download the Fuel Sports Network app on your Roku and Amazon TV and devices. And you can check out the feed live as well on gatewaycitysports.com because that's who we are powered by. We do have a Fuel Sports Network website coming soon. Hello, Sandy. Welcome into the show, love. How are you today? Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here, man. We got a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right into it. Got some more fan mail, and it's going down. But let's get right into it. Before we do, you already know, go follow the show on all the socials. Let's get those subs up on, let's get the subscribers up on the YouTube channel. You know, I've went in and I've changed it all. I've added show to everything except X or Twitter. So you can find the gridiron everywhere except for Twitter and Spotify at The Gridiron Show. So y'all go ahead and check out all the social media links. I will be starting to add more content, of course. I'm working on getting credentialed with the NFL and being able to cover the Raiders and stuff like that. So I'll be able to, attend some games out here and bring you guys some great content, and I'll have it posted on my social medias, of course. So make sure you guys are tuning in and following the show and everything we're doing. But let's jump right into it. Yes, there is a big game today, and we're going to get right into that right now. Not even going to lie. Our Week 7 preview for the UFL, the United Football League, is going down today. We got Memphis taking on Arlington, Birmingham as well, hosting St. Louis. Then tomorrow we got DC hosting Michigan and Houston hosting San Antonio. And the big game of the weekend is of course, Birmingham hosting St. Louis. The two best teams in the league, the best team in the USFL conference in the Birmingham Stallions, and the best team in the XFL conference, the St. Louis Battlehawks. Now, I did choose St. Louis in this game. I did pick St. Louis in this game on the X Fan show, and everybody was like, "Oh, what the hell? You've been rooting for Adrian Martinez all season long." I have. I just feel that AJ McCarron has just a little bit more on the offensive side when it comes to weapons. And I think that that's going to play a major factor. That offensive line is pretty good, and I think they'll be able to hold up against that defense of Birmingham. It's going to be hard. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be tough because Birmingham does have the best defense in the league. There's no doubt about that at all. Birmingham has the best defense in the league. What's going on, Hit? And yeah, I believe it is a possibility of possibly a preview of the championship. But I also feel that this is probably the game of the year in the regular season. Because we don't know what the playoffs is going to hold. But in the regular season, I think this is the game of the year right now. Or it could be, you know what I mean? It may be a close game. It may be a decent margin of a win on either side. You know, we could be looking at a 10 to 14 point, margin, or we could be looking at a 3 to 6 to 7 point margin. You know what I mean? And in the UFL, 9 points is one score because you can score 6 points on a touchdown and, of course, go for a 3-point conversion and complete the 9 points on a scoring drive. So that's the difference in the UFL compared to the NFL and other leagues in their point system, because there are other leagues out there where you still can't go for 3 points. It's either 1 or 2. So at the end of the day, this game is huge. Memphis and Arlington is a big game. Two of the lower records or worst records in the league. Arlington's 0-6. Memphis is 1-5. I think Arlington's actually going to get the win today. I'm not even going to lie. I think Arlington's actually going to get their first win today. I think Memphis just hasn't figured it out this season. After that one win, it's just been downhill for them. They can't get the running game going. Case Cookis barely has anything going in the passing game because of that offensive line and being sacked so many times and being hurried so many times, and every team's getting pressure on them constantly. Sandy says she's thinking a 3-point difference. We don't know. This is going to be, that's the thing. That's the beauty of this game. We don't know any given Saturday or Sunday. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a close game myself. I don't think it's going to be a super crazy blowout win by either team. I think both teams are coming into this game knowing what's on the line. You know what I mean? Probably the reputation right now for the best team in the league overall, as well as, bragging rights going into the playoffs. That's just what it comes down to. And I think that this St. Louis team has a chance to give Birmingham their first loss. I really do. I think St. Louis really has an opportunity to give Birmingham their first loss today. And it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm excited for this game today. And I want to see how these wide receivers and running backs answer the call today. That's really what I'm looking forward to in all these games, because Houston's case, Mark Thompson, you know what I mean? I know Houston's been trying to get that running game going. Curtis Johnson been over there talking about, we're going to get Mark Thompson about 20 to 25 touches a game. And it ain't been working. I'm just saying, he ain't been doing that. Let's just keep it real. He ain't been getting 20 to 25 touches a game. He's been maxing out maybe at 13 to 15 possibly. You know what I mean? So Mark Thompson's going to need to get it going. Darius Victor's going to need to get it going for Memphis. That run game's got to get it going. Arlington's got to figure something out on the run game. DC has somewhat of a run game going, even though they don't have Abram Smith. Michigan has a run game somewhat in West Hills and Matthew Claiborne or Colburn. Sorry. Who else? Of course, St. Louis has a running game. Birmingham has a running game. So, some of these teams need to get their running game going. And I think that's going to be key in some of these victories this week. Even in the Birmingham and St. Louis game, the run game is going to be important. It's not going to just be about what's done in the air. The run game and defense is going to be important on both sides of the ball. So we're going to see, of course, my boy Adrian Martinez is getting the start today. So I'm excited for that. Last week, though, we had some great games. 39-21 in the Birmingham Stallions Memphis game. I thought Memphis had a chance at the beginning of the game, in the first quarter. I thought Memphis really had a chance, and I thought they were going to, actually pull it together. And it just didn't happen for them. Unfortunately, Birmingham was just too high powered. Their offense is just stout, man. Their offense is really, really stout. That's one thing about the Birmingham Stallions. They have a solid offense, even though they don't have a ton of weapons in the wide receiver position, right? Deion Kane's like their main weapon at wide receiver. Then you have Jay Sternberg, their tight end. You know what I mean? There really isn't a number 2 and number 3 wide receiver who's really making a lot of noise on that Birmingham team. But at the end of the day, if you got a guy like Deion Kane who's doing what he's doing, you don't need it. You got a guy like Jay Sternberger who's doing what they're doing, you don't need a bunch of other guys. Obviously, it's working so far, but it's gonna be interesting to see today. That's a game I'm looking forward to. I know everyone around the league is looking forward to, of course. So we got to definitely tune into this game and get them views up, especially if we want to see season 2 of the UFL. I'm just saying. Next game we had a. I don't know how to even put this, man. Like, we had a barn burner with Houston and St. Louis. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, yes, St. Louis won 22-8. But again, you add 9 points to that 8. That's 17. 4th and 15 or 4th and 12. Let's say Houston converts to 4th and 12. You know what I mean? That puts them right back in the game and a chance to win. So at the end of the day, they really didn't lose by that much. It really wasn't a blowout. Regardless of what the score was, St. Louis really didn't blow out Houston. And that just shows you how good Houston's defense really is, because it was a close game for a good portion of the first half. And then St. Louis started to pull away in that second half. But, right, Ronnie, the game was actually closer than what people see on that score. You know what I mean? Some of these people look at that score and they're like, oh, 22-8, they blew them out. No, they really didn't. Not according to UFL scoring. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Houston was in that game. That's just facts. Houston was in that game. And it's sad that they just couldn't get it going. It's sad to see this. You know what I mean? You expect a lot from these teams with how the league is set up right now. You have all this talent, and like in Arlington's case, they just can't catch a break. Like, you can see in the score, they were in this game. They had the lead. They should have won this game. But of course, the defense again allowed Michigan to get down the field in the remaining seconds of the game. You know what I mean? Less than 2 minutes left to go in the game. You have a lead, and you can't stop them on defense. You can't make the necessary defensive stops to get the job done. Now, everybody's like, oh, Luis should be traded, this, that, and the third. Luis Perez is doing his job. We're going to get into that here in a bit, but Luis Perez is doing his job at the end of the day. Period. He's doing his job. It's not on him. It's on that defense failing to stop 4th and 12 conversions and things. Now the DC Defenders have broken even on the season, going 3-3 with their victory over the what's going on, Jay? Welcome in, brother. Oh, now we should be good. You shouldn't be hearing an echo anymore. Thank you for thank you. I was in a rush this morning. DC did edge it out. They stopped the trick play at the end of the game. Like if you actually go on the Fuel Sports Network and check out the latest episode of Player Perspective, season 1, episode 6 of Player Perspective, Dre and him actually talk about this game, of course, because DeAndre Francois, which is Dre, he's the backup quarterback for the DC Defenders. So they actually got their point of view across from it, you know what I mean? And we got to really I liked watching that show because that show really goes into detail about seeing things from a player's point of view, from a player's perspective. And that's why you got the name of the show, Player Perspective. So definitely check that show out on Fuel Sports Network. It's a Fuel Sports Network original series. This is season 1. We are in episode 6. It'll be going up into the championship game, of course. The week of the championship game will be the last week of the series of the season. And the next season, of course, you'll be getting season 2 of the series. So we're going to keep it rolling, man. But we're going to jump into a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to get into a little bit more UFL news, break down this week coming up, break down some more stats and power rankings and things of that nature, and look into all that good stuff. And then we'll be moving on to some IFL news because, like I said, we got a lot going on in the IFL this week. So y'all sit tight, and we will be right back with more right here on the Gridiron, live on Fuel Sports Network. Back to the Gridiron live here on Fuel Sports Network, powered by Gateway City Sports. You can download the Fuel Sports Network app on your Roku and Amazon TV and devices. Make sure you guys also take advantage of those W Energy and Just Meat Jerky 10% off codes. It's Save 10 now, as well as Save 10%. I believe it's Save 10% with W Energy and Save 10 now with Just Meat Jerky, and that'll be contributing to Fuel's sponsorship with these companies. So we do greatly appreciate you guys and thank you. Yes, Save 10 now for Just Meat Jerky and Save 10% for the W Energy. But let's get back into some UFL news. Like I said, man, we had a lot going on last week with those games. They were really, really good. I really enjoyed last weekend. I'm enjoying this weekend so far already. Arlington is up 6-0 on Memphis so far. And right now it's 2nd and 2. Well, actually, now 3rd and 3 because Memphis didn't get anything on that play with the run game. Like I said, run game is important this week, man. Run game is definitely important this week, and I'm interested to see what is going to happen in this game with Arlington and their run game. So far, they got a little bit going with the run game so far, led to a scoring drive. I think that it's going to be key for them today to get yards on the ground and balance that offense for Luis in the passing game. Period. You have to have balance. If anything, everybody in the world knows about football. One thing we know for sure, you got to have balance on offense. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to pass that ball. And if you can't, hey, you're not going to be doing anything. Now, going into this week, these are the standings, the conference standings, and our guy RJ Young's power rankings. I can't even lie. As far as the power rankings go, I understand why DC moved up and San Antonio moved down because of the loss last week. I do get that. I understand that completely, but I still think that that should be flip flopped. I think because of San Antonio's record, still they should be in that 4th position. I don't agree with that. But as far as the rest of the numbers go, I am comfortable with that. I understand that the Arlington Renegades are 0-6. So of course you put them in dead last because of that all 0-6 record. Now, don't get me wrong, I agree with Big Ham. If you like I said, if you go back and watch the latest episode of Player Perspective, I do agree with Big Ham. I think Memphis is the worst team in the league when it comes to overall just performance on the field. I mean, they can barely even pick up a first down. You know what I'm saying? They're not being able to do much through the air. They're not being able to do much on the ground as well. And I think Arlington just aren't making the plays on defense to get them over that hump to get the win. And I think that's what's going to change today. I really do. There were some transactions made and there were some defensive backs brought in. So I think they're trying to beef up that secondary. I think they're listening to us. And uh, Keela, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Hey, I do apologize. Y'all forgot to change my mic up and get that echo out of here. But we good now. We good. Hey, we do got some fan mail later on too, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, I just think run game is important today. I think run game is going to be very, very important today for all teams. All teams. The run game is going to be very important. Balancing the offense, not putting everything on your quarterbacks is going to be key for every team going into the game today. On both sides of the ball, stopping the run and having a run game is going to be key. That's what it's all about today. We're getting into the trenches of the season. We're getting into the nitty gritty part of the season. This is the playoff push right here. All these games matter now. Like every single game for the rest of the regular season matters in the UFL. And it's all about getting that edge. Let's be real. The team with the edge right now is Birmingham. But if St. Louis can give them a loss today, that gives the edge to St. Louis. Let's keep it real moving forward. That gives them the edge. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm very, very intrigued on that game today. I really am. This Memphis and Arlington game, I'm intrigued on this game too because I'm interested to see if the Renegades can really put it together and get a win today and keep a win under their belt. Here are your QBs with 1,000 yards passing or more, or over 1,000 yards passing, and your sack leaders in the league right now. I would love to see Houston get a win today as well. That wouldn't be bad. But yes, these are your current sack leaders. Now, Carlos Davis, he's been leading the league in sacks all season. Malik Fisher's right behind him. Now, Braylon Speaks is up there. Redmond and Roberson from the Renegades and the Defenders are tied for 3rd with Braylon Speaks for 4.5 sacks. Now, if you look at this, when we get to the MVP power rankings, it's going to be interesting to see what It's definitely going to be interesting to see what y'all think of these power rankings, these MVP power rankings, because look at the yards as far as QBs with over 1,000 yards. Memphis has just put up 3 points. They kicked a field goal. So Arlington has a 6-3 lead currently. But look at the yards on these QBs, right? Now, when we go back and look at, or when we go and look at the power rankings here in a second, y'all tell me if this makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all know how much I rock with my dude. You'll see who I'm talking about here in a moment. But I'm just saying. Now, here are your offensive and defensive leaders. Leading in passing, of course, is Luis Perez with 1,330 yards. Leading in rushing is John Lovett now with 348 yards. And leading all receivers in receiving yards, is Hakeem No Hands Butler with 478. I mean, he's been showing that he got some hands now. So, defensive leaders, you got Michael Joseph with 49 tackles, got his name back up there. It's not for the most interceptions this season like he had a season ago in the XFL for the defenders. Carlos Davis, of course, leading in sacks for Birmingham, and Kai Nakua, Puka Nakua's younger brother, or Puka Nakua's older brother, or younger brother. I'm not 100% sure, but he is leading the league in interceptions with 3 of them. And it's interesting. That's why I said when you see these MVP power rankings, it's going to be interesting what you guys think of this, because there's no defensive player, right? You'll see. You'll see. Here's your special team leaders and best kickers in the league right now: Matthew McCrane and Jake Bates, of course. They both are 12 for 14. Your special team leaders, you got Jawan Manigo for Arlington with 681 kick return yards. You got Amari Rogers for Birmingham with 174 punt return yards. And then as far as field goals made, you have Jake Bates, Matt McCrane's, and I think his name is Andrew Schmidt from the Battlehawks. And they all have 12 field goals made. So that's what we're looking at. But look at this, guys. Now look at my face. How does this make sense? How does this make sense? Right? RJ, 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 RJ. How does this not? How do you got Adrian? Listen, I know what he's been doing with his feet. I know what he's been. That's my guy. That's my guy. But how do you not have Luis Perez on this list? How do you not have 5 names on this list? Let me just put it that way. How do you not have 5 names on this list? And how do you have AJ Martinez above AJ McCarron? And AJ McCarron has 1,300 yards passing and 13 yards or 13 touchdowns. How do you not have AJ McCarron number 1? You don't even have Jordan Ta'amu up there, and he has over 1,000 yards passing. You don't have Luis Perez up there, and he's over 1,000 yards passing. It just does that make any sense, y'all? Like, let's keep it real. Does that make sense? Do you guys agree with those power rankings? Like, do you guys really agree with those power rankings? Let's be honest. Adrian Martinez at number 1 with 970 yards, 71 passing yards, and 7 touchdowns in the air. Don't get me wrong, he's done a lot on the ground with his legs, but can you really put him over Adrian Martinez or AJ McCarron at 13 touchdowns and 1,306 yards? Can you really put him over Adrian or AJ McCarron like that? Can you really do that? Can you really have Jake Bates up there just because he's a 64-yarder? I get that. I get it. 64-yarder than a 62-yarder and a 60-yarder he's done in I get it. I get it. But and he's been majority of the Panthers offense. The Muskegon Panthers, Saginaw Panthers, Pontiac Panthers, Detroit Panthers. What other cities? Flint Panthers, Lansing Panthers. They got to pick a name. I agree with you, Jordan. Big Ham, Jordan Eagle Fosse. I definitely agree. We need a name. Michigan is the only team in the league that has a state as a name instead of a city. It is a little weird, ain't it? It is a little weird. But I don't agree with those power rankings, those MVP power rankings. I'm sorry. I don't. I really, really don't. I'm sorry. But hey, it is what it is. You know, that's his opinion. I guess the UFL agrees, and that's just what we're gonna get. So we ain't got no choice but to accept that. But we're gonna take another quick commercial break, and when we come back here on the Gridiron, we are going to jump into some indoor football league news. Y'all get ready, man. We got a packed weekend. 2 games have already been played last night. And we are, yes. Who is RJ? I have no clue who RJ Young is. I really don't. I think he's a journalist or something like that, or he's an insider for the UFL or somebody for the UFL or whatever the case. And he comes out with power rankings and all this other stuff. So that, I guess that's who that is. You know, he comes out with the league's power rankings, and I don't know exactly who that guy is, but that's what he does. So when we come back, we'll get more into the IFL news that I have for you guys. There's a lot. And all 16 teams are playing this weekend. You guys might want to check it out. There's been some really, really good football going on in the IFL. If you're not into the indoor football league, well, you're going to learn about it. You're going to learn today. All right? You're going to learn today. We'll be right back with more on Fuel Sports Network right here on the Gridiron. Holla at your boy.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Came for my win, I need my hands. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my win, I need my hands. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in.
Back to the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. The Gridiron is presented to you by Fuel and the Pro Football Alliance. No, I'm just playing. Y'all know me. I love to have fun, man. No, but welcome back to the show. We've been talking about some UFL news, of course, but now it's time to shift focus and get into the IFL because there's been what's going on. A-Train, Arlington Lane, the CEO of Fuel, is in the building. How you doing, my brother? Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Hopefully you're enjoying this game. Your namesake is winning. How do you feel about Memphis now? You picked Memphis. How do you feel now? I'm just saying. Arlington's up 6-3, and they're driving. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, let's see. Because I don't know if you made a great choice, buddy. I'm just saying. I don't think you made a great choice making that pick. Just saying. I think Arlington's going to win, and that's just all. That's all there is. Period. You don't agree? I don't care. I don't care. Now, but let's shift into some IFL news. Congratulations. First off, congratulations to San Diego Strike Force player, offensive lineman Desmond Bland has been signed to the New Orleans Saints. That is huge. That is huge, y'all. I'm just saying. Like, you go from the indoor football league and you get put on the radar of the Saints. Yo, that's huge, man. That is huge. Definitely. That is big for him. So, congratulations to you, my friend. Before we get into that, congratulations to you, Desmond Bland, moving from the IFL straight to the NFL. That's great, man. Congratulations to you, brother. You deserve it. Wish you all the best moving forward. Now, another player, and he's from the land of the Kaka, the Nighthawks of Vegas, baby. My man, Iteva Mayuga Clements, picked number 1 overall in the CFL Global Draft, the Canadian Football League Global Draft. So congratulations to him. Big shout out to my man Iteva Mayuga Clements, man, linebacker from the Vegas Nighthawks. Moving on to the CFL, getting drafted number 1 overall in the draft. That is huge, man, in the global draft, man. That's big, man. Congratulations to you, Iteva. I wish you the best of luck as well. Kaka, may your wings fly high out there. Yeah, so, I could say Kaka too, because, we got the Nighthawks out here. Yeah. So, yeah. It doesn't even mean Kaka for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Know that. Know that. Okay. It's not for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Okay. Okay. You may have found RJ. All right. Oh, it's possible he works for Fox. Okay. Now, speaking of the IFL and Week 9, again, congratulations, Desmond Bland, moving on to the New Orleans Saints from the San Diego Strike Force. And congratulations to Iteva Mayuga Clements of the Vegas Nighthawks, moving on to the CFL and being drafted number 1 overall in that global draft. Now, moving on to Week 9. Like I said, it's a packed week. There's 16 teams in this league, in the indoor football league, in the IFL. And this week has literally already started off. The indoor war has already started off, and it's been crazy. I watched both games yesterday, and oh my gosh, bruh. First off, the Quad City Steamrollers and the Sioux City, the Sioux City Storm game was just crazy. It was back and forth, like back and forth. And as you see, Quad City finally got it together and got their W over the Sioux City Storm at the end of the game. They really pushed, man. It was a good game. It was a back and forth game. Them boys was battling. We seen some great plays. If I'm not mistaken, one of the plays made it on Sports Center top 10 already. Like, man, the IFL is making Sports Center top 10 all season long. Hey, it's been doing it all season long. I promise you. There's been at least 3 to 4 there's been 3 to 4 different top plays, like number 1 top plays as well. You know what I mean? And Quad City Sioux City Storm game actually made one of their plays made it. Now, what's going on, Woody? Welcome in, brother. Now, the rules in the IFL are a little different because first off, it's 7-on-7. So you have 3 linemen, 2 wide receivers, running back, and a quarterback. And the wide receivers actually are able to go in motion. 2 of your wide receivers are actually able to line up behind the quarterback and the running back. Well, one of them will be your running back and one of them will be your wide receiver. Then the other wide receiver is actually lined up on the line or off the line. And then you have your wide receiver and running back that's behind the quarterback go in motion. So either when they go in motion, that linebacker or that wide receiver is going to be going straight down the field or running their route. And then you might have the running back going in motion, but then cutting right in front of the quarterback for like maybe just a handoff, it'll look like an end around somewhat. You know what I mean? And like a jet sweep or end around. But it's really just the running back coming in motion and then cutting in front of the quarterback and it's really like a RPO setup because either the quarterback can hold on to the ball and run it themselves or pass the ball or they can give it off to the running back and allow the running back to run. So there's three different options in those different motions that they have. Plus, like I said, a 7-on-7. The field is 50 yards long instead of 100. You know what I mean? Your midfield line is the 25-yard line instead of the 50-yard line. Um, no, the CFL actually has, I believe, 100. I believe they're 100-yard field. I'm not 100% on CFL. I haven't really got into the CFL. I don't know where I can go and watch the games for the CFL for free because I'm not paying for a subscription just to watch the CFL. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If I can't watch it for free on ESPN or something, sorry. I'm not watching it. But I don't know exactly the difference. Now, also, they don't have a 2-minute warning in the IFL. They have a 1-minute warning. Do you know what I mean? They can do it. They can challenge as well in the IFL, but but their challenge is similar to the UFL. They can challenge anything. They can challenge penalties. But see, they're different. Like they can, well, yeah, it's not really different. They can challenge penalties and stuff as well. So, like with the IFL, the rules are very, very different from outdoor because it's indoor football. It's smaller from sideline to sideline, goal line to goal line. It's a smaller field. Like I said, it's 50 yards instead of 100. Such a hit. Go watch paint dry then. I can't stand him, but I love him. But no, honestly, that's what makes the IFL unique and different. You know what I mean? Like you can catch a pass in the end zone and flip over the wall, and it's still a touchdown. It's so lit, and that's how they be getting some of these top plays because these guys are sitting here making one-handed grabs and flipping over the wall and holding on to it. You know what I mean? So it's very, very interesting. You guys should check it out. There's a ton of games on today because again, it's week 16 or week 9 and all 16 teams are playing. Now, another game that was very, very great to watch last night was the San Diego Strike Force coming out here to Vegas to Henderson, Nevada, which is literally 15 minutes away from us 15 minutes away from Vegas. But they came out here to take on the number one team in the IFL, the Nighthawks, the Vegas Nighthawks, led by Jerome Johnson, our quarterback. You know what I mean? Antonio Wimbush, our running back. CJ Wyndham, Quentin Randolph, and Caleb Hawley, our wide receivers. Man, our offense is so stacked. And then our defense, James Caesar, Malik Honeycutt, uh, Bryce Hampton. Like, bro, we got so many players. Our team is so stacked. And we edged it out. It was a back and forth game. And I ain't gonna lie, we almost lost this game because San Diego kept missing their extra points. They kept missing their ruse attempt as well. They kept missing their point after tries. Let's just put it that way. We kept blocking 2-point conversions and ruse attempts, and then we're missing them. So that's what was keeping us in that game with the lead. We had the lead from the beginning of the game, started off with a 14-0 lead, went into the half 20-6. Came out went into the end of the first quarter, 20-6. And then there was a pick six and then a kickoff return from San Diego that put them right back in the game. And then it was just back and forth. Vegas would score to extend the lead. San Diego would come back to be down just by a little. Vegas would score to extend the lead. San Diego would come back to, you know what I mean, to dwindle that lead down, and eventually it was tied, and then Vegas went back up. It was a back and forth game, and it was an exciting game. I actually got to watch it on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network out here in Vegas, which is a local network that actually plays the Vegas Throw games, Vegas Nighthawk games, any game that goes on at the Lee's Family Forum. So it was very, very exciting to see. You guys got to go back and watch the replay on their YouTube channel. But we got a game coming up actually here in a bit. It is the Jacksonville Sharks taking on Yes, listen, Sandy, 50 yards is short. You know what I mean? Yes, I do love the I love the indoor football league. It is so awesome to watch the indoor football league. But check this out. The Jacksonville Sharks are taking on the Frisco Fighters, and listen, the Frisco Fighters are one of the best teams in the IFL in just in the last couple years. This is a big game because honestly, our boys and lady down in San Antonio, Phil, Leo, and RC, they represent the Gunslingers, and the Gunslingers actually gave the Frisco Fighters their only loss so far of the season, and they are actually 1-1 playing each other. Frisco and San Antonio have played each other twice already, and they're 1-1. So actually, here in a little while, in about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, the the Jacksonville Sharks will be going into Frisco to take on the Frisco Fighters. So make sure y'all check that out. We're going to jump into a quick commercial break, our last commercial break of the show. And when we come back, we're going to finish breaking down week 9 in the IFL. And then we're going to get into some quick NFL news. There was just a few moves that I want to talk about that happened, and we're gonna get into some fan mail, and then we're gonna end this show the right way. You already know. So y'all sit back, relax. This is the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. I am your host, Jerzey Tha King. We'll be right back with word from our sponsors. Holla. Are back with the Gridiron Live right here on Fuel Sports Network. Make sure you go and download the Fuel Sports Network app on your Amazon, Roku, or your Amazon and Roku TV and devices. So Amazon TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku Stick devices. You can get us, man. You can come check us out, watch us on TV, man. You know what I'm talking about? But now let's get back into this IFL news really quickly. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's get back into this IFL news really quickly. Like I said, man, this is a great week. We have all 16 teams playing. So again, you have the Jacksonville Sharks going in to take on the Frisco Fighters. You have the Tulsa Oilers taking on the Green Bay Blizzard. You have the Massachusetts Pirates taking on the Iowa Barnstormers. You have the San Antonio Gunslingers, who, yes, our guy Lacoby Tucker does play for. That's our dude. But they're going into New Mexico and taking on the Duke City Gladiators. Then you have the Bay Area Panthers, who was the only other undefeated team last week until they came into Vegas and got that ass beat, or until Vegas came into the Bay Area and beat that ass. Excuse me. But they're taking on the Northern Arizona Wranglers and then the Arizona Rattlers to finish out the week. The Arizona Rattlers will be taking on the Tucson Sugar Scrolls, and that is your week 9 matchups for the IFL, man. And they're all going to be today. Actually, the rest of the games for the weekend will be today. Aren't going to actually have any Sunday games for the IFL tomorrow. So make sure y'all check out all these games. It's going to be on, man. All you got to do is just pull up YouTube on a bunch of different devices to watch all these games, because if some of them overlap as far as time wise, you can watch. I do it all the time. You can check. I posted a picture on Facebook of me with a bunch of different devices with a bunch of different IFL games on. I had the UFL game on the TV. It was going crazy, man. I do this all the time because I want to make sure I'm on top of this. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right accurate information. I'm checking out these games and actually bringing you news that I know of because I've sat here and watched the game. So check out the IFL this season, man. We're in week 9. It's been a great season so far. You got 16 teams, you know what I mean, and possibly more coming next season. So let's keep rocking with football. If you love football, do your thing, man. Watch all this. Watch all this football that's on. I'm telling you. Watch all this football that's on because it's worth it. You know what I mean? It's worth it. Right now, the Arlington Renegades have just scored and they are currently up. I missed the damn extra point. If they made the extra point or not, I apologize. But they gave the ball to who I've been talking about. They need to put in the game and get going. And Gabe has as well. Gabe's not here this week. He had to work. Sorry, I meant to tell you guys that this morning, but or earlier. But we both said the same thing. Caleb Vander Esch. They put Caleb Vander Esch in the game, and look what happens. He scores a touchdown. I'm not 100%. Again, I missed the extra point attempt. I don't know if they converted it or not. I was busy with you guys. But no, honestly, make sure you guys, I'm gonna put this up there for you guys one more time. Make sure you guys check out the IFL this week. These games are going down. If you missed yesterday's games, go back and rewatch them. And man, check out Lacoby Tucker in that San Antonio Gunslingers game. He is on the offensive line. So y'all get ready, man. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely excited for it. Now on to other news. The NFL had some moves this week. The Dallas Cowboys actually released former Vegas Viper and Pittsburgh Steeler Martavis Bryant. So he didn't play at all after getting signed last season. During the season, he got signed to the Dallas Cowboys, and he did not play at all. But he was released today. He was waived and released, or not today, but yesterday actually. He was released by the Cowboys. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. The Raiders signed their tight end draft pick Brock Bowers, former tight end of the Georgia Bulldogs. You know what I mean? So they actually made it official and signed him. Bo Nix signed a 4-year deal, guaranteed about $18 million with the Denver Broncos. Denver released Ben DiNucci. So we may see DiNucci back in the UFL possibly this season. There's a possibility that we see Ben DiNucci in the UFL. Maybe San Antonio picks him up, Maybe Houston picks him up. I don't know. I don't know if that would work well with Houston or with Houston because of that run game of Mark Thompson and the gunslinging arm of Ben DiNucci. I don't know. It could mesh. I mean, he did have Morgan Ellison last season in the XFL on the Seattle Sea Dragons, and I mean, he definitely did a hell of a job. So I can't really say that it would be all bad, but I don't know. We may see him join that Houston squad before the season is up. You know what I mean? So let's just see what happens. But yes, the Denver Broncos did release him. Zay Flowers is now a Arizona Cardinal. There was just a lot of moves that happened in the NFL as far as like free agency and stuff like that. So make sure you guys go and check the ESPN app. Who grabs him? I jokingly said he was able to be AJ's backup. I don't think they're going to put him on St. Louis. That'll be a waste. You'll be wasting him when he can be a starter somewhere else. That's why I say Houston or even Memphis or even San Antonio, because San Antonio probably needs the quarterback right now with Chase being out and Quentin not really getting them over the hump and keeping them up there in these games like he should have been. You know what I mean? But y'all know what time it is. one of my favorite parts of the show. You already know it is. Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. It's time for some fan mail, y'all. Let's get into it. Just like that. Sir, fan mail questions to the gridiron podcast at gmail.com. Now, our first fan mail question comes from a boy Hit, of course. And Hit asks, what choices being made by the league have you going, what the hell did you not learn from last year? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, let's keep it real. Uh Marketing strategy. It's been mediocre. Um Certain choices of stadiums to play in, I think were bad decisions. Um Certain teams being in the league this season and getting rid of certain teams or putting them on hold. Right. What marketing? That's my thing. Like their marketing strategy was horrible when it comes to local marketing. Global marketing did a hell of a job. Of course. TV, social media, the whole nine. Local marketing, horrible. Local marketing in the areas of where these teams actually be playing, horrible. Horrible. Merchandise prices, horrible. What are y'all smoking? Who's spending $125, $150 on a pullover jacket? And it looks like a starter jacket from back in the 90s that we used to rock and can get for $25, $30, and we thought that was expensive. Like, come on, man. There's a lot that they did wrong this season. Starting the season off so damn quickly without, taking so long to announce the merge, taking so long to get in the merger finalized, taking too long to start training camp, not coming out with a draft that we can actually watch on TV or on social media. Even when they had the draft, not keeping us up to date with some type of live tracker or something on the app, not having the app ready before the season launched. I mean, I could go on and on and on. The merchandise prices are ridiculous, and the jerseys ain't even available yet. Wait till the jersey prices come out. I'm just saying. Let me move on. But there, to answer your question here, a lot. A lot. Next question. Do you think they should continue the Sonic movie or TV series, or should they let it die out and move on to something else? No, I think they should continue with it. They've been doing a great job with all three of these movies, or both of these movies, and I think the third one's going to be off the chain. You're bringing in Shadow. Come on now. You've already brought in Knuckles. Now you're bringing in Shadow, and then you continue with the series. You continue with a TV series. You don't continue with a bunch of movies. I think you continue with a TV series and then bring back another movie after, to coincide with the TV series. And then you just do back and forth, series of movies, just because it would work. Because you can bring in all the Sonic friends from back from the old cartoon. So there you go. There's your mail time, brother. But if you'd like to send in your mail time questions, your fan mail, you can do so at thegridironpodcast at gmail.com. Make sure you guys go and also follow Fuel Sports Network and follow all the socials as well. Follow all the channels or all the shows that are on Fuel Sports Network as well. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into the show. Make sure you follow the show's socials. Let me throw that up there for you guys. Follow the show's socials. Make sure you definitely go and follow the show's socials. Trying to get the Gridirons, stubs up on YouTube, of course. We got a bunch of followers on Twitter and other platforms. So let's just raise these numbers, man. Let's get these numbers up and let's do our thing. I love you guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this week's show. this week's edition of The Gridiron. We are no longer a podcast, man. We are a TV show. I love it. I love it. I love it. And wait till we upgrade. Wait till you see us in a new studio. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to build me a studio when I move and put it in my living room. So it's going to be pretty damn dope, man. But if y'all want to send your fan mail questions in for next week's show, make sure you do so. Any football questions, it doesn't matter, man. Send in some football questions. Send in some off-topic questions. Doesn't matter. Send them in. The Gridiron Podcast at gmail.com. When Gabe comes back, I want to try and get a guest on, Anthony Miller from Sports Illustrated. So we were supposed to have him on a couple weeks ago. We had to cancel and reschedule. So when Gabe comes back, I want to have him on with Anthony Miller. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into the show, man. I love y'all. I will see y'all Thursday for the Jerzey Tha King show, where we're going to have to talk a lot of Vegas sports, man. It's going down. It's going down. More IFL talk, but it'll be about the Nighthawks specifically. More Vegas Thrill talk. I'm trying to get Fran Flory, head coach of the Vegas Thrill, on the show. So make sure you guys tune into the Jerzey Tha King show this Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. So I love you guys. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank you, everybody, for being here and showing the love and support, man. Share the VOD. 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 Make sure you share the VOD. And if you do, catch it on Fuel as well. I love y'all. Holla at your boy. I'll see you next week. Catch all the new shows that have joined Fuel as well. Team of Rivals, Texans Talking Football, Girl Chat Sports, the A Team of RC. Those are the newer shows that are on. And then Arena STL as well, man. Check out all the shows, man. We got so many shows. Check them all out. Monday, Bottom Line, and Smoking Guns coming. So make sure y'all are tuned in for that as well. I love y'all. I will see y'all Thursday for the Jerzey Tha King show, and I may pop up here and there on a couple shows throughout the week. You never know. You always see me everywhere. Make sure y'all share the VOD. I love y'all. I'm 2 minutes over. They're gonna yell at me. Peace, love, and booty cheeks. Yes, the Nighthawks call is law. The Nighthawks of Vegas. You know what I mean? I love y'all. This is the Gridiron Podcast Show. Holla at your boy.